Hi, welcome to our channel Good New. Today, let's look at the question of whether Intel's recovery plan can save the worldwide core shortage. As we all know, the world is now experiencing a severe chip scarcity, yet, this chip shortage represents both an opportunity and a threat for global semiconductor firms. It is feasible to achieve corner overtaking if you make effective use of this time. Intel established their own recovery plan in order to swift this problem. Intel created this approach in order to save its own, as well as the world chip production capacity. So, in this video, we'll teach you about Intel's recovery plan. Intel presented its 2022 investor conference online on February 17, 2022, presenting the product roadmap and key execution nodes of its primary business segments. The topic includes data centers and artificial intelligence, client computing, accelerated computing systems and graphics, Intel Foundry services, software and advanced technologies, the network and edge computing future development plan, and the most recent technical advances. Pat Gelsinger, CEO of Intel, stated, "Technological advancements are generating long-term demand for the semiconductor sector. By 2030, the market is estimated to be worth more than $1 trillion. We plan to reach our objective of 10% to 12% year-on-year revenue growth by 2026 by expanding innovation, improving collaboration with customers and partners, and utilizing our core competencies to expand established markets and surprise new ones. Revenue is slow, therefore a recovery plan is devised." Although Intel's revenue has been consistent in recent years, there have been clear signals of a slowdown in terms of particular numbers and year-on-year growth. According to Intel's fourth quarter 2021 financial report, sales for the quarter was $20.528 billion, up 3% from $19.978 billion in the same time last year. Net profit was $4.623 billion, down 20% from $5.857 billion in the same period last year. Intel's total revenue for fiscal year 2021 was $79 billion, a 1% rise from $77.9 billion in fiscal 2020, while its net profit was $19.9 billion, a 5% decline from the previous year's $20.9 billion. Among these, Intel's client computing division's revenue in the fourth quarter of 2021 was $10.1 billion, a 7% year-on-year reduction, and its full-year revenue was $40.5 billion, a 1% year-on-year gain. This is a significant component affecting overall performance. According to Intel's fourth quarter financial report, the PC-related CCG division sales declined by 7% year-on-year, while the Pan-Data Center Business Division DCG and the Internet of Things Division IoT fared impressively, with year-on-year growth rates as high as 20% and 36%, respectively. Furthermore, sales in the Programmable Solutions Group PSG climbed 15% year-on-year, while revenue in the Non-Volatile Storage Solutions Group NSG decreased 18% year-on-year. With February of last year, Intel reinvited Pat Gelsinger, who had been absent from Intel for more than 10 years, in the hope that he might rescue Intel from fire and water once more. Intel implemented a number of reform initiatives during his tenure. Intel revealed a new IDM 2.0 plan in March 2021, naming the future production path Intel Factory plus third-party capacity plus foundry service combo. Intel discussed major parts of the company's future strategy and long-term growth ambitions during the investor conference. Intel introduced many new data center processors and a new architecture plan for the next-generation Intel Xeon products to boost overall industry competitiveness. Future Xeons will have a dual-track product roadmap based on both performance cores, P-cores, and energy efficiency cores, E-cores, to blend the two optimized platforms into a shared, industry-defining platform. To improve your product's per-watt performance and segmentation capabilities. Intel stated that Sapphire Rapids processors will be available in the first quarter of 2022, using the Intel 7 process, Emerald Rapids will be available in 2023, using the Intel 7 process, and Sierra Forest and Granite Rapids will be available in 2024, using the Intel 3 process manufacturing. Despite slowing growth, the PC-related CCG market remains Intel's most important. Intel anticipates that CCG will continue to contribute significantly to Intel's development as PCs become more critical than ever. In 2021, global PC shipments will approach 340 million devices, a 27% increase over 2019. Intel anticipates that this market will continue robust and develop further. Meanwhile, Intel remains optimistic about the AXG branch, accelerated computing systems and graphics. The three key businesses of Intel's AXG division will bring in approximately $10 billion in revenue by 2026 as the company's growth engine. The three divisions are as follows: Visual Computing Group, which includes Intel's GPUs for gaming, content creation, and meta applications; Supercomputing Group, which includes Intel's processors for high-performance computing, artificial intelligence, and media processing, and Custom Computing Group, which includes custom chips for blockchain, edge supercomputing, and other applications. Blockchain, a public ledger that records transactions on a computer network, has grown in popularity in recent years. Intel Corp has launched NF, a new chip for blockchain applications like as Bitcoin mining and minting that will be available later this year. According to Intel, their chip is an energy-efficient accelerator meant to accelerate blockchain processes that need a lot of computer power and consume a lot of energy. Continuous advancement and growth of OEM services. Intel's IDM 2.0 revival strategy is currently moving forward. During the investor conference, Intel CFO notably noted the purchase of Tower Semiconductor, predicting that the foundry market will reach $140 billion by 2026. On February 15, Intel announced the acquisition of Tower Semiconductor for $53 per share in cash, for a total enterprise value of around $5.4 billion, to assist Intel's foundry development IDM 2.0. Intel attempted but failed to purchase Global Foundries in 2021. Tower resembles GF, although on a lower scale. Tower Semiconductor accounts for 1.4% of the global foundry market share and is the sixth-ranked foundry, according to statistics. With production locations in Israel, California, Texas, and Japan, Tower Semiconductor manufactures semiconductors and circuits for anything from automotive and consumer items to medical and industrial equipment. The purchase will help Intel grow its foundry services and get the company closer to its aim of becoming a significant worldwide provider of foundry capacity. The agreement allows Intel to provide a wide variety of advanced nodes as well as specialized knowledge at mature nodes. The transaction has been unanimously authorized by the boards of directors of Intel and Tower Semiconductor and is subject to regulatory clearances and usual closing conditions, including Tower Semiconductor shareholder approval. The acquisition is likely to be completed in roughly a year. As part of the IDM 2.0 strategy, Intel recently announced that it has joined the RISC-V International Foundation as a senior member and has spent $1 billion in RISC-V research. The RISC-V International Foundation is a governing body that oversees the RISC-V technology and community. Intel stated that it has a substantial fund in place to assist enterprises old and new, large and small, in developing revolutionary technologies utilizing Intel Foundry Services, IFS. The new $1 billion investment fund intends to reduce customer time to market by combining cutting-edge semiconductor designs and superior packaging technologies. Intel Foundry Services, IFS, has formed a dedicated automotive team to provide full solutions for automakers, and the relationship with Mobileye enables Intel Foundry Services, IFS, to supply advanced automotive clients. Procedure Technology. Mobileye, an Israeli subsidiary of Intel, creates self-driving cars and sophisticated driver support technologies. Intel created a sensation in March 2017 when it announced a $15.3 billion acquisition of Mobileye. Mobileye has created the IQ chip, a unique accelerator processing chip. Automakers like as BMW, General Motors, and Volvo are among the first to use the IQ chips. Shipments of Mobileye IQ socks will approach 100 million units by 2021. Mobileye's self-driving test vehicles are currently being deployed in cities around the United States, Europe, and Asia. Intel recently announced plans to divide and IPO Mobileye, which is projected to have the first share of autonomous driving processors in 2022. Mobileye is valued at $50 billion by Intel. It is worth emphasizing that Intel is returning to the United States with cutting-edge skills and production capacity. The announcement that Intel was establishing a facility in Ohio, USA, drew a lot of attention on January 21, 2022. Intel is to invest $20 billion in the construction of 2 new process units. Following the launch of IDM 2.0, this building is unquestionably strategic. Construction will begin in late 2022, with manufacturing beginning in 2025, according to Intel. The plan's entire investment might reach $100 billion, spanning a total of 8 manufacturing sites. Overall, based on Intel's recovery plan, I believe it is not impossible for Intel to accomplish its own great vision. China's TSMC should pay attention to it as well, and solidify its dominant position in the field of semiconductor foundry as much as possible, so that Intel's estimates are rendered obsolete. Thanks for watching in this video. You can add your ideas or suggestions below. Please keep following our channel and like our videos.